Have you ever prayed for clarity and heard nothing but your own thoughts echoing back? You're not alone. In a world of endless notifications, opinions, and noise, trying to hear God's voice can feel like searching for a single candle flame in a stadium at noon. Today, we're changing that. If you're ready to move from confusion to clarity, you're in the right place. First, we need to name the static. Our modern noise isn't just auditory, it's neurological. Studies show the average person processes more information in a single day than someone 100 years ago did in a month. This constant input creates what neurologists call cognitive load, and it directly impacts our ability to perceive subtle guidance. There are 5 primary types of spiritual static. See which ones resonate. 1. The digital avalanche, endless content, comparison, and dopamine hits. 2. The hustle hurricane, the idolatry of busyness that says your worth equals your productivity. 3. The opinion tsunami. Everyone has advice, from influencers to family. 4. The anxiety frequency, the what-ifs and fears that broadcast 24/7. 5. The past echo, regrets and old wounds that distort present guidance. The problem isn't that God stopped speaking. The problem is we're trying to hear a whisper in a hurricane. Let's look at how God actually communicates. Contrary to Hollywood depictions, it's rarely thunder and lightning. In 1 Kings 19, Elijah experiences wind, earthquake, and fire, but God was in the gentle whisper. The Hebrew word there, cold mama daka, a voice of thin silence. Throughout Scripture, we see 3 consistent channels. 1. His written word, Psalm 119 to 105, Your word is a lamp to my feet. 2. His Spirit's nudge, John 14:26, The Helper will teach you all things. 3. His sovereign circumstances, Proverbs 16-9, We plan our course, but the Lord establishes our steps. But here's the critical insight. These never contradict each other. Genuine divine direction creates harmony between Scripture, Spirit, and situation. This is where we get practical. I've developed a simple 4-filter framework I use daily. Think of it as a spiritual signal processor. Filter 1. Scriptural alignment. If it contradicts the Bible's clear principles, it's not God. Full stop. But here's the nuance. We're not talking about random verse plucking. We're asking, does this direction align with God's revealed character and commands? Filter 2. Spiritual peace. Colossians 3:15 calls peace the umpire of our hearts. This isn't absence of difficulty. It's a deep-seated assurance amidst uncertainty. I ask, does this decision, though perhaps scary, carry an undercurrent of God-given peace? Filter 3. Wise counsel. Proverbs 15:22 says plans fail for lack of counsel. But not just any counsel. Spiritually mature, biblically grounded people who know you and aren't afraid to speak truth. Their question isn't, what do you want to do? But what do you believe God is saying? Filter 4. Confirming circumstances. Do doors open or close? This is the most misunderstood filter. Sometimes closed doors are protection. Sometimes they're testing. The key is viewing circumstances through filters 1 to 3. Let me show you exactly how I apply this. First, I use what I call the discernment journal. When I sense guidance, I write it down immediately. Then I run it through our 4 filters over several days. This prevents impulsive decisions and emotional hijacking. Second, I practice what the ancients called Lectio Divina, sacred reading. Not studying for information, but listening for transformation. I read a short passage 4 times. 1. Read. What does it say? 2. Meditate. What stands out? 3. Pray. What is God saying to me? 4. Contemplate. How will I live this out? This rewires us from consuming information to receiving revelation. Before we close, let's address 3 major pitfalls. Pitfall 1. Confusing conviction with convenience. Just because it's hard doesn't mean it's God. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's not. The difference? Conviction persists through prayer. Convenience fades. Pitfall 2. Waiting for 100% certainty. Faith, by definition, involves stepping into partial light. If you need absolute certainty, you're not walking by faith. God often gives just enough light for the next step. Pitfall 3. Ignoring the already spoken. We beg for direction about decisions where God has already spoken clearly in Scripture about wisdom, integrity, or love. Often, we don't need new revelation. We need obedience to what we already have. Here's your takeaway. Hearing God isn't a spiritual talent for the few. It's a cultivatable skill for anyone willing to create space, apply filters, and practice patience. Your assignment this week. 1. Identify your primary static source and create one 15-minute daily quiet zone. 2. Use the 4-filter framework on one decision you're facing. 3. Practice Lectio Divina with just 1 verse per day. The God who spoke galaxies into existence knows how to communicate clearly with His children. Your job isn't to force the signal, it's to clear the static. If this resonated, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Next week, we're diving deeper into when God seems silent, because that's where real faith is forged. Remember, my sheep hear my voice, not might hear or could hear they hear. You are His sheep. You can learn His voice. Go in peace, walk in clarity, and I'll see you next time